Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene. How are you all going? So good to be here today. Had a fabulous day. All right, let me just get this last little bit of background stuff sorted. Okay. All right, let me... Boom. Cool bananas, got that done. Alrighty. And here we go. Perfect timing. Okay. Hi, Marit. How are you? How's your week been, my dear? How has your week been? Mine has been good. It's been very good, but I've had a fabulous day today. So what else can I say? I've had a really great day, even though today was all about the work car in a lot of ways. It was about waiting for the work car to be seen to and fixed and stuff. And in my I definitely neglected to organize a loan car. And as a result, it meant that I had to hang around the shops all day once again. So yeah, but it came with a brilliant, most excellent bonus in that I got to hang out with my buddy Terry today. And yeah, we had a fabulous time. We did a bit of shopping and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I did have a really funny moment though. So as you guys can probably tell, I've chucked a little bit of purple in my hair. No, it's not a trick of the light. Yes, I put a bit of purple in my hair just because I had a little bit left in the tube and I just went, I'll give it a go. I'll just chuck it in there for something fun to do. But today I had to go off and I chose today to go off and get my license photo redone and renew my license, my driver's license. So for the next 4 to 10 years, it's going to be looking like this. So I took the 4-year option. And I figure if I get tired of it after 4 years, I can go back and get another photo done after 4 years. Doesn't cost me any extra. Just, otherwise I'll just stick with it for the next 10. But here's the part that's just like too bloody weird and that I wasn't ready for is my next expiry date is in the year 2030. I've been around since the 1900s. How did we get to the year 2030? And it's only 4 years away. Like, to me, that's absolutely nuts. My brain still cannot wrap itself around that. It's like, what? How? Isn't it supposed to be when we're like, full on hardcore Jetsons time? We're running around in spacecrafts in the sky and living on big pedestals and I guess we are slightly getting there with the robot helper. We're almost there by the time 2030 rolls around. I'm sure we will have robot helpers, a little bit like they had in the Jetsons. Maybe that's where they're trying to go to. I don't know. But yeah, that threw me up through my brain just a little bit today. I was like, 2030. That just how Hello, Tamara. Hello, Melinda. So good to have you. Today, in our lovely little cup of tea, we have some Tasmanian tea, or crafted in the Tasmanian. It's called Winter Spice. And this one has a little bit of black tea from China and Sri Lanka. It has some pepperberry leaf, some vanilla bean, dried fruit, cinnamon, and rooibos from good old South Africa. And that's it. So yeah, that's what my body was asking for when I asked it what it would like to have for tonight's tea. So there we go. Art of Tea. Pretty sure I got that one from the Airwalk, the Tahuni Airwalk. I'm pretty sure that's where that one came from. Very, very good. It's nice and warming, which is what we want at this time of the year in good old South Australia. I was surprised though by the weather. I love the good weather, chat. The weather today was actually lovely. We were supposed to get showers and things today, but no showers, which was nice. I'd love to know what you guys have been up to. I did do a little teeny tiny bit of retail shopping. Retail therapy. I don't really call it therapy because I don't find shopping very therapeutic, to be honest. But I was in the bookshop with my friend and we were having a look at cards. No, I didn't get any new cards yet. Tomorrow you're going to have to wait and see what I did pick up. I don't know that I'll necessarily bring these cards through to here. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to work with them a little bit, I think, by myself and see what happens. But anyway, I did pick up a book because I've realized that I would like, or my body has been asking for me to start reading before I go to sleep again, instead of watching the good old telephone, or, playing a game or whatever. And so I was just browsing through the books, had an amazing conversation with this beautiful being who came up and said to me, gosh, I love your hair. What do you do for your curls? And I don't know, have I told you guys about my flaxseed hair gel? I think I've told maybe one or two of you privately, but I don't know that I've ever actually spoken about it here online. Let me know if I have. If I haven't, then I'll tell you about that. So yeah, the flaxseed hair gel that I make myself. So we ended up in a big conversation about making hair care or facial like moisturizers or whatever, doing it from a more organic point of view and like without the chemicals and stuff like that, like skincare, hair care, that sort of stuff. And then we got to chatting about the different sort of things like herbalism, working with the crystals. I all of a sudden remembered the deity that I was supposed to remember, that I was trying to remember, who has now gone out. Hecate. I was trying to remember Hecate. Oh, cool. I haven't explained that to you. Okay, cool. Melinda also found Tulsi Organic. Oh, yes, online, and it arrived today. So you have a cup of that brewing. Fabulous. Tamara, completely rearranged my downstairs living space today and it feels so good. I love that. I tried to rearrange my bedroom when I came back from Tasmania. It didn't work, and so I put it back. But in the trying to rearrange it, what I did do is uncover a whole bunch of dust bunnies from underneath my bed and stuff, and so they all got vacuumed up and the room felt better anyway. Cool. And Tamara said, I'm also rebuilding my website from scratch. Oh, that's tough. Oh, website building. It can be fun depending on what platform you're using, but certainly it's a tedious process, isn't it? Trying to figure out what are we going to keep, what are we going to, So yeah, bedroom is next on Tamara's list too. Fantastic. So yes, then I got to, and I was having a look at the books. Like I said, I feel like there's a book that I've got books to read. Believe me, that's sitting on my bookshelf. I really, really could be starting to read them. But every time this week, I've said to my body, is there a book there that you would like to read before bed? It goes, no. I'm like going, okay. So while I was in the bookshop, I was like chatting away to this lovely, lovely person. And as we wandered along, they told me about this book, which I did not get this one, but I did take a photo of it. It's called Ikigai, Ikigai, and it is The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life by Hector Garcia and Francisque Morales. I'm going to say that way, and I'm sorry if I've said that completely wrong. So I took a photo of it because I thought, oh gosh, that does sound very good. However, it's not quite in the realms of where I was looking to go towards at this point. And part of it is something that I touched on with a book earlier this year, I'm pretty sure it was. And it was The Power of the Dark Feminine. So this gives you a little bit of a hint as to some of the stuff, the personal stuff that I'm going to start or have been diving into. But it's the continuation on. It's like the next evolution of things. And the book that I've picked up, and I'd love to know if you all have read it, is this one. Women Who Run with the Wolves. And I am so curious about this one. It's quite a good thick book. Its writing is smallish. There were 3 versions of the book, 3 different types of printing. This one, there was a one with the hardcover that was much taller, that had slightly larger font than this one. And then there was another one which was about that much shorter, but it had tinier font. And I'm like, if I'm reading this in bed, I'd rather take a book that I can actually read without going, oh, this is making my eyes tired. Right? Oh, how weird. I just opened up to a random page and it is literally The Handless Maiden. Okay. Weird. Oh, Tamara said it is sitting on my bookshelf waiting for me to read it, and I've heard only good things about it. Oh, Melinda has it upstairs too. Got it back in the early 2000s. I mean, it says on the front, anyone who can read should read this book by Maya Angelou. So let me have a quick look at when it was published. It's got a copyright of 1972. So it's going to be a good book. And I love that. And first published and interesting. How is it that she had a copyright? Oh, no. Sorry. I've got to read it properly. First published in Great Britain by Ryder in 1992. There was an excerpt from 1972. I apologize. 1992. I was going, man. So it's been republished a few times, and this edition was published in 2022. Oh, all the numbers. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and having something different to wind my brain down to. The part of the reason for this is, as you guys know, last year around this time, I ended up on a bit of a journey around finding the peace within and finding my place of safety, enough safety within myself, to find myself feeling safe enough There we go. Got the words. And this year has been a continuation of that, and the refining is that I now have to uncover and heal, redirect that energy, because it's really amazing energy, of the fixer. Somebody told me, a very dear friend of mine said to me a couple of years ago, they said to me, you really do like a project, don't you? When I was talking about dating. And I'm like, no, I don't. They're like, yeah, you kind of do. And I'm like, oh. So it has been pottering away in my brain for a few years now. Now that I know what peace and safety within feels like, and being very careful about protecting that, I'm now in a place where I can now tackle this fixer. Because the fixer is the one that is attracting, sending out. I had this wonderful discussion with Terry today. So how does the fixer show up in my life? And we happened to be sitting in a shopping mall at the time, so I was able to use this analogy really, really well. So if you think of JB Hi-Fi, which is an electronics store, right? And they send out all their marketing is about electronics, because that's the sort of stuff that they sell. And for me, all of my energetic marketing has been going out to be the fixer. I can fix stuff. I can correct stuff. I can heal stuff. And this is what I mean by being the fixer is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that when it is in my intimate relationships, it sends the wrong marketing. It's the wrong marketing to the wrong people. And so I have to change that. Nobody else can change this for me. It's me. I have to change it for me. So to do that, I have to do some work with my dark feminine. I have to do some work with my child, my inner child. I have to do some work with balancing of the masculine, feminine energies within. I have to do a little bit more work with my parental stuff. I also have to do some regression work. So this is, and maybe some other journaling type stuff and all sorts of things. So that book, I got the sense, because that's the sort of vibes I was putting out there, is like, what can I do and use to support me on this journey? And that is going to help, I feel. So that's where we're at. Come follow along with me over this next 6 months while I dive into this stuff. It's a fun place to be in my brain and my body and my being and my journey. I'm always here to encourage and inspire you to do whatever it is for you. So in the last 12 months, I'm going to say, because so many of you here watching are people who do your work, who do your inner work, who do your consciousness work, your expanding consciousness or your capacities. What I would love to know, because we are right at the end of May. So, we're sneaking into the 1st of June. And this is kind of like that almost 6-month check-in, but I'm going to make it 12. So it's a mid-year check-in to sit, and I'm saying check-in, not chicken. As almost like a set point. What in the last 12 months have you become aware of and healed it, or at least worked really pragmatically on healing that. Or perhaps what skills have you developed in the last 12 months? Or like as an energetic or capacities or anything like that. I would love to know. Those are the two sort of areas I'm looking at the moment. I'd love to know, where are you guys at? Because the more that we can share this knowledge, the more that we can show each other how we are showing up in the world, the more inspirational that energy is as it goes out to those of you who are watching now or watching in the future. And you are all amazing in your own right, because you are still going through every single day in your body and your experience. So I'd love to know, what have you shifted, changed, healed, regressed over the last 12 months, particularly for yourself? Because so much of what happens in our world is related to how we view ourselves, how we interact with the world. And so often, like, a majority of my viewers are women. And I don't even need to see the stats to know that. And as women, we have been leading the way on consciousness, energetic growth and healing for many, many, many years. Sure, in the, we'll say the 30s and 40s and the 20s, there was a lot of like suppression, but along came, the 60s. They were pretty awesome. And that was where things really started to shift for us as women again, returning back to the place where women actually started to value their own voice again and have the confidence to value their voice and their place in the world. So it's a slow progression. It's a slow change. So Nettie said, my daughter and I's relationship is getting better. That's wonderful to hear, Nettie. And she said, I assume, I am working on finding peace in my life. Yes. Finding that place of peace within, game changer, absolute game changer. Because once you find that, once you unpick the things that are not bringing you peace and you sort of drop them away, and you just finally get yourself feeling actually comfortable with being peaceful and having a peaceful life. Because the other thing is that a peaceful life is sometimes a little bit boring, in that when we're working from survival mode, everything is on high alert. And, you're always ready for the next shoe to fall. You're always ready to jump, to shift, to change, to take note of everything everywhere and make sure everybody's doing everything right. And and that happens whether you're a mother or not, whether you're in a relationship or not. It often happens if we don't have a relationship, if we're not got kids. It'll happen with our workplace. It'll happen with the greater community. It might happen with your friends. It's a lot of energy, right? And so to not have that can feel very, very strange, especially if you're like me, who's been in survival mode basically my entire life. So I got to 47 years old before I actually really knew what peace meant. That's a lot of history with not knowing what peace was. So you can imagine my ego was like freaking the fuck out for a while there. And I just had to constantly come back to, it's okay. I am safe. I am safe enough within. I don't have to worry about all of those other things. Be peaceful. And it's okay to just do stuff just for you, just to stay home, to not have to be running around here, there, and everywhere after everybody else, or, you know, push on whatever. It's actually okay. So I find that now that I have found that place and I became comfortable with it, when I've had instances in more recent months that have popped up that have threatened that, I recognized it much quicker and I removed it out of my life. And it was a lot easier to do that from a safe place and safety within. So, and yes, it was a bit traumatic and it hurt a little. And, you know, but the recovery process has been interesting, in that my body is back to feeling safe enough within again. And I feel a lot more exuberant and a lot more like I've got energy to do things again and, you know, do stuff around my house and fix projects and start working on some of this other self-development stuff now, which is cool. And that's a sign of, you know, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I got my smile back, got my sparkle back. Tamara said, oh my God, so many things. I'm like a completely different person. I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's probably why you have to rebuild your website, right? I totally get that. But it says, during the past few months, I have actually had to overcome my deepest trauma overriding everything in my life. In my aspect on myself, vulnerable and under the attack of others, them valuing me. Interesting. Yes, trauma can and often does trigger survival mode. And yes, it absolutely can put a massive filter on how you view the world and how you place yourself in the world. And dealing with that, and by dealing, I mean compassionately loving it through to completion. Oh, it takes a lot of courage, right? Because it's so much easier to blame everybody else. It's so much easier. Blaming and shaming, like blaming everybody else and shaming yourself, is a place of massive emotional leakage. And it doesn't help. It just keeps you in the trauma loop, in the toxic trauma loop. And nothing can change out of that. And the only person that can stop that is you. So, for example, it would be very easy for me to go into a trauma loop around, you know, why I chose what I chose, who I chose, what I chose. Didn't I learn anything? Haven't I progressed enough? Blah, 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 blah. I could go into that big, massive loop. The better thing to do is go, what have I learned here? What is this reflecting back to me? What have I learned? That's a much, much more healthy and conducive to creating greater possibilities into your life than blame and shame. So if you're in a blame, shame, and judgment loop, what am I learning here? What am I seeing? What am I being shown so that I can reflect and and get to that place of peace. What do I have to heal? Where do I have to go? It's like that book. I require something to help support me as I continue on my journey with my dark feminine side. Because I get the feeling that my dark feminine side, this is my intuition at the moment, that my dark feminine side is being very closely linked to my fixer. That part of me that's the fixer. And in this 10 seconds, because I'm talking with you guys and I'm very, very expanded out, I can see that my fixer in some ways is trying to mitigate my dark feminine from coming out. Because my dark feminine is also where things like rage and fury come in. Those potent energies to get shit done. And I've made peace with a lot of that already. But I have a funny feeling this here with the little fixer is trying to prevent that from coming out a little bit. So I look forward to seeing if I'm correct. No projections or expectations, but I have a funny feeling that's where that is. Hence the reason why the fixer comes out and it shows up as being the bright, bubbly person that gets everything done and does it perfectly. Because we want to have a good standing in the world. We want to make sure that it shows up at work a lot. And in that it's the part of me that goes, I'll get in there and I'll fix it and I'll make it all right. Okay, I'm really, really sorry that person let you down or that blah, 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 blah. I'm here. I'll make it all right. You don't have to worry. I got you. And that is the fixer. And as I'm talking, I can see that this is also quite... Actually, can you guys see what that is? You tell me. Tell me in the comments. What is that energy? Tell me. Because I'm going to say it, but I'd love for you guys to tell me as well what you guys think. While you're doing that, I came across a poem today. Conducive, new word. For Marat, the fixer is there always, but perhaps we can be strong, creative fixers coming from the right angle. Then we really get to create, not fix. Correct. Absolutely correct, Marat. Thank you. So this is where I am looking to shift the fixer's energy. So like I said, it's not a bad thing. It just has to be redirected out of my intimate relationships. It's like, no, you cannot be there anymore. But it's not as easy as just saying, no, you can't be there anymore. Something has to change on my crystalline DNA in my brain with my neural pathways for it to move. Because that energy is still going to be there, whether I like it or not. It is a part of who I be. And so I would much rather that go into creative projects, it be redirected into things like working at work or in my healing business or that sort of stuff. Like, unless it is for creative purposes or it's already there. Like all those other areas, I already do it in there. It's like this little bit with the intimate relationship thing, though. I think there's something out of balance in there, right? So I'm requiring to shift whatever that balance is that's out of balance over there currently, to move it over. I require to get my marketing right. Oh dear. So that's interesting. That's an interesting one, right? So have you guys twigged as to what the energy of that fixer is? The I got you fixer? We've spoken about it many times. It also comes under, in the more extreme versions of that, the control freak, which I am a recovering control freak. But the control freak is actually just a symptom of a coping mechanism of being in survival mode. Come on, Tamara. You know what it is. Come on. Come on, guys. You got it. So while I was hunting for a people pleaser, close. That's an element of it. Good guess, Melinda. Keep digging. So that's where I'm at right now. And I look forward to seeing what other things I come across. And I have a funny feeling, like I mentioned this last week, around the correlation of trauma bonding and the relationships and the trauma bonding and the other thing that I did with the graphs. I can't remember what it was. See, Tamara's saying people think, yes, close, not quite what I'm looking for. What was the other part? The thing I did last year anyway, which has really helped me to see where and what emotional states contributed to me having particular trauma bonds with different people, and what was going on in my life and what ages, where my development was. I feel this next stage of shifting the fixer is the next module, if you like, of that workshop. So I haven't forgotten that there is a workshop in the works. It's just not been fully uncovered yet. So yeah. All right, I'm going to put you guys out of your misery. So that energy that I'm talking about is my masculine. It's my masculine energy, where it's the I've got you. I'm holding space for you now. I can see that you're upset. I can see that you are raging. I'm holding space for you. And don't worry, I've got this. I'm going to take care of you now. And that is the masculine energy coming through. Now, here's the funny thing. I can do that incredibly well for other people, and yet I haven't been able to do it quite so well in receiving that from males. Why is that? Because my marketing has been all wrong. Why would I have somebody who can do that for me and welcome them in when I can do it perfectly well for myself? Interesting. Because the fixer is already there. And the thing is that it's not about finding somebody who can come in and think that they can fix me, because I don't require fixing, right? None of us do. We're all shifting, changing, growing, developing, healing in our own right. So it's about having somebody come into my world who can actually be a contribution, and they're not here to be the completion. So that's an interesting little insight into what's happening up here at the minute and why my dark feminine has to have a bit of time. In my feminine, Tamara's. Love it. Hey, I can see the emojis. Oh, cool. Yay. I haven't been able to see your emojis for ages. Anyway, Marit says, in my feminine, I ask my son, do you say that in love or in anger? My name is correct, all except the I sound. It ought to be I as in is, long A as in March. Marit. Marit. March. Marit. Is Marit. Is Marit. Maybe spell it out in phonetically for me, and I'll make sure I say it correctly in the future. All right, so there we go. Quiz over. So in my hunting around for a recipe today, do you think I could find it? I did it probably within the last 12 months. It was this rainbow jelly, rainbow ribbon jelly. I cannot find the recipe that I used. It's very irritating. But anyway, something that was a gift of going through all of my handwritten recipes was I found a poem that I wrote on the back of something else in 2017. So that's 9 years ago. And I thought I'd bring this to you guys today before we go into our, before we go into the weekly reading. And it's an acknowledgement of Mother Earth from the me of 9 years ago. Okay. The throbbing veins of Mother Earth constantly gifting life from ancient worlds to the new, from the natural to the artificial. The vast earth birthed it all, universal knowing, gifting, and creation. Unpredictable are her flows, from the peaceful to the powerful, magical beauty, even in destruction, creating space, giving birth to a new path, a new way, freeing up those that are choosing contradiction as thick as the strongest tar and densest concrete. The freedom to choose or to stay or leave. The gift of peace for those choosing different and the future. Becoming both as light as air, powerful as clouds, and as beautiful as the dewdrops on rainbows. How beautiful was that? I surprised myself. Lately, since moving into this house, I have found so many of my poems just scattered all over the place and in random places like my recipe book. So I will be now placing, I wish to share that with you all, and I'll be placing that with all of my other poems that I have stored up so that one day I can actually put together another poetry book. Because it's quite, I feel quite proud of the fact that I have made a poetry book and actually had it published and released, and we use it, and it's been sold a few times, and that's pretty exciting to me. So here we go. A little bit of creativity. All right. Da, da, da. Okay. Let us do the weekly reading for everybody. Can you even believe it? We are at the last couple of days. Oh, look, I've got a happy smiley face at the top, not just hearts. Oh, that's so cool. So cool. I love this. Thank you for saying that. Sounded so very interesting, Maro. I appreciate it. See, when I was growing up, I never thought I was funny. There was lots of moments where I found things funny, but I didn't realize that I was actually funny in my own right, because my sense of humor is way different to my family. And my family are a very sarcastic bunch. And so when you're the more sensitive being like me, things that you find funny or what I find funny are not the same as theirs, and they find humor in mean stuff, and that doesn't really work for me, you know. There are some things that I do find funny that are probably a little bit more on the nose, you know, like when you see people falling over, not in real life, but like you have that moment of a giggle and then you go, help. It's like, oh, oh no. Or yeah, that sort of thing. Even for myself, if I walk into something, smack, oh, and then I crack up laughing at myself. But when people are just spiteful and sarcastically mean, that I don't find funny at all. And what I realize now is a big part of that is because I realize how much that hurts energetically other people. So for example, I had a partner who watched a lot of sport, and they would watch their sport and they would yell at the telly or their phone or the laptop, depending on which device they were watching it on. Really nasty, horrible, awful things at the people on the screen, at the players of whatever sport it was. And I one day turned around to him, and it hurt me. It was like, oh, energetically, it just sent little shockwaves through my system. And I said to him one day, if you were face to face with that person, would you say that to them? And he goes, no, of course not. And I said, so why do you say it to them when you're sitting in my house? And he's like, well, they can't hear me. And I said, but energetically, you're sending that out to them. You're sending those little energetic spikes and hooks and you know, you're sending that to them. That is hurting them. It's hurting their body. It's hurting their energetic fields. And that was one of the ways that I realized that this person was nice on the surface, showed me, again, it's the pretty words, the pretty healer words. But underneath that was a very unhealed, unregulated child posing as a man. I learned a lot of things from that particular interaction. Yes. So, reading for the collective from the 30th of May through to the 5th of June. Let's see what comes out. There's the full moon, which is happening on Sunday. So we must take that into account. Of course, that is our blue moon for this month. And I'm sure there's lots of energies already popping up. We're in the sign of Gemini currently. So, of course, you've got the two minds, the flippy floppy feeling of a Gemini energy. As an ambivert, I actually resonate quite well with the Gemini energy. It's like I wish to be slightly, Oh my goodness. Introverted and slightly extroverted. And I feel that a lot of Gemini people are like that too. They're a little of both. They're a bit of earth. They're a little bit of water. They're a bit of air. They can sometimes be a little bit of fire. They sort of, to me, Gemini kind of floats between the opposite sides a lot. And I reckon being a Gemini would actually be very difficult, because you'd be in that constant ebb and flow of, where do I actually sit with that? And it's a lot of brain stuff going on. That's what I feel. I don't know. What do you guys feel about Geminis? Do you know many Geminis? I've known a few now, and they tend to be very intellectual people, and very interesting to talk to. And they often see things from different points of view, which is kind of cool. So yeah. But equally tricky to pin them down on stuff too. All right, let's see what Doreen Virtue has to say. The Angel Therapy cards. This is one of the very first decks I ever owned. So this is going back a little while now. What is it? 21 years, roughly 20 years ago. All right. So the first card that we've got is, have you asked, this is for the collective for this week to come, have you asked your angels for help with this? Your angels want to help you with the situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So this is very, very true. And by angels, that also includes your spirit team. So if you have a situation in your life where you are struggling with making a decision, trying to attract a job, a partner, clients, resolution over something, you can absolutely ask your team to assist you with this. And the stronger your relationship with your team, the faster and easier they will act on your behalf. All right. That's why I call them your spirit team, because they are there as your teammates to help you out. They will not intervene without your permission. The only time I have ever seen that happen is with a very newly crossed over person who hadn't quite yet learned the rules. Because they hadn't gone to their review place yet. They were a little bit stuck here. And I very quickly put them in their place once I realized what was going on, and yeah, got that sorted. So that was, that was like 16 years ago, before I moved to Australia. So whatever you might have going on in your world right now, maybe it is something going on with a family member or a friend or something like that, you can ask your team. However, just the same as they will not intervene for you without your permission, they also will not intervene in somebody else's free will choices. Okay, so they can offer possibilities. They can go to someone in their dream state, perhaps, and give them little gentle nudges or nuggets. At the end of the day, though, each individual person, including you, has the last and final choice in anything and everything in your life. Okay, so keep that in mind. However, this is a lovely little reminder that you can absolutely ask your team for help with whatever is going on in your life. If you're looking to develop more place of safety within, and safety and peace within, ask your team, can you help me with this, please? help show me what that looks like. Because them in the space that they're in, they know what that is. They're surrounded by it every single day. Because that's just what happens in that space. So there we go. Your team. If you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire attention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? The law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. So, if you get nervous, focus on service. Interesting words, right? And then they talk about coming back to the law of attraction. So we'll just bring those two things together. If you place nervous energy out into the world, what are you going to attract more of? You're going to attract more nervous, more situations that will make you nervous. This is different from being comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? So, for example, some of my deepest relationships that I have are with people, and most respected relationships that I have are with people who make me uncomfortable because they shine a light on the shit that I'm trying to pretend is true or untrue for me. So they don't let me kind of get away with my own BS, which is good. We require those people in the world, right? So they don't make me nervous, though. People who make me nervous are people who have pretty words at the front and are hiding toxic, narcissistic, gaslighting behaviors. Energetically, they make me nervous. Nervousness is sometimes a way of your body showing you, hey, there's extra stuff here to be aware of. So what are you aware of? This is a lovely little card to pay attention to your body. What is your body telling you? Where can you be of service to yourself and to the community in general? Where are you choosing to put your energy? Are you choosing to buy into the story that is making you feel nervous, or are you choosing to use that information for the greater good of yourself, your own healing journey, your own spiritual journey, your consciousness journey? Or are you choosing to be stuck in the trauma cycle? Blame and shame, regret and guilt and da-da-da-da-da. Where are you sitting? So, again, have you asked your angels for help? Where's your energy going? Okay. Be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. So, one of the reasons why we get nervous is when we haven't healed or processed or forgiven ourselves for our part to play in whatever situation is making you nervous, especially if it's something in the past. If it's an experience or a situation that you've already been through, you've already done and dusted it, and it's still sitting there, creating a crinkle in your world, and you're ruminating. That's a really good word, ruminating on it, right? This is a really good indication where you have to come back to this, your heart, and forgive yourself for your part to play. Okay? If it's a situation where there has been violence or abuse and you've been on the receiving end of that, this is not about condoning that at all. Okay? what I am saying here is that you have to forgive yourself for either being present or not being present at that time. Quite often we disassociate when we are being subjected to that sort of stuff. And it's not pleasant, and it's very difficult to come back to that place of peacefulness, especially when we've been subjected to something like that. And this can be in physical, it can be with words, it can be with energy. And it's like the one person that it is vital to forgive is yourself. So this full moon on Sunday, write down any places or spaces or situations where you feel shame, blame, guilt, regret, anger, anything of that sort of stuff, sadness towards yourself. Write it down, and then at the bottom of the letter say, and for all of that, I now forgive me. Whew. That's what this card is about. I now forgive me. Because while you still have all of that energy floating around, it's distracting you from living your most amazing, abundant, delicious, incredible life. So let's clear away the clutter. Clear away the blame, shame, regret, guilt, anger, rage, fury, hate, sadness, and all the rest. Clear them all away. This full moon, it's a potent moon because it's a blue moon. Sunday. And all of this, and of course you can ask your team to support you as you move through those energies and those emotions, okay? Take note. Where do you feel it in your body? Your body is telling you stuff all the time. This is all about, this week, particularly around this full moon, is all about finding your integrity. Align your actions so they match your values and inner knowingness of what is right for you. That is what integrity is all about. Make your energy, your words, and your actions match. Be accountable. Dynamically, fiercely accountable to you. It's not about being accountable to anybody else. It's about being accountable to you. And in doing so, what will happen is that your words, your energy, your actions will align, and you'll find yourself in the space of integrity, and your people around you will respond in kind. They'll either come closer because they value that about you, or those that don't value that about themselves or are very intimidated by that level of accountability and integrity will naturally move away. They might throw their toys a little bit as they're moving away, just to warn you, but they will. Because when people who are not in their integrity When they don't match, those 3 areas don't match, they find it very confronting to be face to face with somebody who does. So just as a little tip. The word of the week is guidance. So this is the guidance of your higher self. Okay, it's not necessarily the guidance of your team. This is the guidance of your higher self, your heart, the part of you that is all linked up to the Akash, to the, the overall collective, the part of you that wrote all the soul contracts that you came into this world with. That part. Get familiar with it this week. Start tuning in if you haven't already. Ask your team to help you find that path if you haven't already. All right, so that is the weekly reading for everybody. I hope that helps. Use it, don't use it. It's up to you. But they're coming from where they come from, the Nastian people. It is outrageous, and this shows in society in all its not getting it. In literature, we talk about coherence. I had a birthday 3 days ago. Lovely. I'm glad you had a birthday 3 days ago. Happy birthday. Yes. Societally, we are changing, and I'm seeing that. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I try to comment everything you say. I agree, Gemini is a creative sign. Yes, they are. They can be. They can be. They can also get a little bit confused in themselves. They can get a little bit too caught up between all the sides, and they can get a little bit hyper fixated on certain things too. That's something I've noticed with certain Gemini people. And it's kind of like there's a point where they kind of get just a little bit too one-directional. And as such, they find it difficult to perceive anybody else's point of view or a different option of doing something. But that's okay. We can all get a bit like that. I can get a bit like that with being an Aries, and especially when I was in my control freak mode. I would often find it difficult to see things to be done in a different way. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Hello, Margaret. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you for tuning in. The same was with your sign, the straight on view. Yeah, I can be. And that is the part where I've had to learn. That's part of my journey in this lifetime. That's why I was born in Aries, is that I'm not stuck being, like that, the tunnel view. My lesson is to be more broad-minded. And I've had many, many, many situations in my life that has helped to develop that, of a liberal way of thinking, of the ability to be super creative and bring in a lot of different influences and mush them around and be creative and make them so that it becomes my unique flavor, whether that be in normal terms like customer service, or in my healing, with my unique blending of stuff together so that it can create something really awesomely unique for each client. I feel so very, very grateful, very grateful. It's night here in Newcastle, but I did have a great day. Thank you. It's night here too. I'm in South Australia, so there we go. I assume Newcastle, Australia. I'm going to assume. Alrighty. Something I did see this week, actually. It was, you know how sometimes you get random posts from God knows where on Facebook, and it's just like somebody's put something up and you're not connected to them at all, or you might maybe have one or maybe two common friends or something, and they've posted it somewhere in a group and it's a public post and randomly it ends up in your news feed. Who the fuck? How the fuck? I don't know. And so I saw this post, and what it was is it was this gentleman who had placed this post into a group that I'm not a part of, and I've never been a part of it. But it was about his bass guitar. And the post that I saw was that it had been found and returned to him. And as I dug down a little bit further, because I was like, this is interesting. Why has this landed in my news feed? What's this showing me? And so the gentleman had his guitar returned to him just this last week. And it was stolen out of the back of his car back in, I think, December it was, because I had to sort of like, go digging a little bit, a little bit of Facebook stalking, because I was curious, right? This is what rabbit hole-y things happen in my world sometimes. And it was stolen out of the back of his car in the summer. And of course he was like, please help me find this, help me, he's a musician, obviously. And he's like, if anybody sees it, any of my muso friends or whatever see it, I'd really, really love to have it back. It's he's completely custom designed and stuff for himself and all that sort of stuff. And obviously he would have been upset that it had been stolen. And fast forward to just this last couple of weeks. And he's gone into a 10-day silent retreat where there's no technology. There's no phone, there's no tablet, there's no internet, no nothing for 10 full days. Silent retreat. And somebody has rocked up to cash converters in Norwood and seen this bass guitar hanging on the wall to be sold. And this guy has looked at this and gone, that looks far too unique and loved and cared for and custom that somebody would have just willingly given that up to sell it. So he took a photo, did a reverse image search, found this guy's original post saying it's been stolen, immediately went up to the staff at Cash Converters and said, look, I honestly think that this guitar's been stolen and you've got stolen goods there. And so long story short, after a little bit of consultation with the police and that, because this guy was in a silent retreat and, the guy in Cash Converters had tried to contact him but was getting nowhere, he managed to convince the Cash Converters people to put the guitar aside, to put it on hold until this guy, until he managed to track down this guy. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, no problem. If it's stolen goods, which clearly it is, we will put it to the side. And through, I think it was through another Facebook post where he had tagged his parents or something. His parents were able to be contacted. They went in and picked it up, and then the guitar ended up back with the guy in this last week. But what really got me was the fact that there was a post that he put about it saying, I had actually made peace with not having it anymore. At the end of the day, it's wood and metal. And I just hoped that whoever had it was getting good use out of it and was enjoying it as much as I did. And I thought to myself, wow. And because there's something that's shifted within me in the last couple of weeks, the action, the words, and the energy behind the words all matched. All of them matched. And I was like, that is emotional maturity. That's emotional intelligence. Wow. This is incredible. And this particular gentleman would be in his early 40s now. And I thought to myself, that's cool. That's cool that there are beautiful gentlemen out there in their early 40s or thereabouts that are out in the community, out in the world, sharing their magic. And I'm just like, yes, this is fantastic to see. More, please. Oh, dear. Margaret says, what I get out of that is everything gets stolen. That gets stolen or taken away from others will come back in multiple ways. Yes, I agree. It will. So you forgot maturity is also an aspect. Just because somebody is older doesn't mean that they are mature. I have honestly seen people in their 20s more mature emotionally, mentally, physically than some people in their 50s and 60s. Equally, I've seen certain people who are perhaps mentally mature, physically mature, but they're not emotionally mature of that older generation. So emotional intelligence is really important to me these days. Just saying. So yes, age doesn't necessarily make you mature. Interesting. Righty ho, Tamara. Thank you for prepaying for your reading. Would you like to ask me a question and I can tackle that for you? Let's see what card deck your team would like to choose. Ooh. See anything else? Okay. I wonder what tomorrow's question will be. I wonder. Okay. I'm going to go to the to everybody out there. The question is, could a 12-year-old be mature? Marit says, I do not think so. it is the thrive and overall life that makes you mature. Or so my awareness is that a 12-year-old could be mature. It depends on the environment that they have come into and what they have come from. And the reason why I say that is because I've been listening to a lot of Dolores Cannon lately. And if you have not dove into Dolores Cannon, I would highly recommend that you do. And you just might understand why I said a 12-year-old could be mature. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? I'd love to know what you guys think. In the traditional sense of this day and age, I would agree with you. In the way that we are now, I every now and then do see 12-year-olds that are very mature. They are out, they have their own businesses, they are earning money, they are contributing to the community, they are doing incredible things. And that's what I mean by it depends on where they've come from and the environment that they've come into. So, yes, I think they could be. That's a good old bit of nature versus nurture, and a little bit of both. Tamara said, my son is 12. For his age, he is very mature, but he has had to be. He's had some big lessons already. Other 12-year-olds, maybe not so much. But it says, interesting discussion. Yes, DC, I do understand. Oh, Dolores Cannon, I do understand. But is the frame we have seen through and respected? The framework. Oh, bye, Margaret. Hope you have a lovely week. The framework that is currently in place in the traditional sense keeps children stupid and dumb and reliant not on their intuition. It cuts them off from their intuition. And that's males, females, doesn't matter. The current structure that is there in the traditional sense is all about outsourcing information and knowledge instead of looking within. So this is where things are shifting, because a lot of families are doing it here in Australia anyway. I'm not sure what it's like overseas, but here in Australia, there are a big shift into doing homeschooling because families, parents in their 30s and 40s are realizing that the traditional school system doesn't actually create great human beings moving forward. Human beings who are intuitive, who know how to work with their energy levels properly, they don't know how to regulate. There's a lot of aspects to traditional schooling which are not great. So there's a massive shift towards homeschooling, which I think is wonderful. That's my personal opinion. There's one family I know, they do homeschooling, and there's 10 children. So you can imagine that's a huge undertaking for that family to do. Those children, however, are incredibly community aware. They still get out, they do their sports, they do activities and things that get them out into the community and interacting with other kids and all that sort of stuff. So it's not about separating them in that way. It's about delivering education in a way that is more conducive to growing their emotional intelligence, growing their creativity, keeping their consciousness and their self-body within them as opposed to disassociating. I mean, Me Too aspect, no putting your body on sale, that is the frame. In Finland, you can teach your child at home, but not in Sweden. This is a reflection on homeschooling. Interesting. Interesting times indeed. All right. Okay. So the first one that we have is from the Sacred Cycles Oracle. And I always get a little bit like, ooh, what picture are we going to get? This is the one your team asked for. And it's a very lovely one. So it's one that I can show very nicely. Okay, it's the willow tree. I make space for my emotional experience. With its drooping branches reaching out and downward towards the earth in a fountain of leaves, willow tree evokes watery emotion. The flowing, twisting vines form a sanctuary for weary souls. This sacred shelter invites passers-by to duck in for a moment of respite beneath its canopy. Willow tree is here to offer you a space where you can process emotions that feel too big, bulky, overwhelming, or unwanted. You are being asked to allow these emotions to surface. Once your true feelings are unearthed, they may be released, streaming out and downward just like the tree branches. They may be received by the earth. When they are released in a space that feels safe, you will feel a renewed sense of peace and well-being. Willow tree reminds you that emotions hold holy wisdom. This wisdom is accessed by working through what arises from within. Now is your time to allow for full and complete awareness of your internal experience and your feelings, and to gather the insights that emanate from clear waters. Your journal prompt: where do I feel most safe to express all of my emotions fully? That's an interesting question. That one question has me answering it for me and myself too. Where do I feel most safe to express all of my emotions fully? Now, given that this is a very feminine deck, this is talking and referring to not only sadness and grief, it's also, and obviously happiness, because that's an emotion, right? It's talking about that frustration, the anger, the heavier emotions. Where do you feel safe, most safe to express that? Interestingly, I have my journal that I can express that. My home, I can express everything because I live by myself. And I'm very lucky that I have one friend who holds space for me in that regard too. I have another friend who I know I can express with her. I choose to monitor what I say. They tend to get the more modified version of my emotions rather than the very raw stuff on the more regular basis. I'm curious to know, what is it for you? Where is it for you? Because it does say, where do I feel most safe to express all of my emotions fully? Something to think about. So that's your first card. Your next card is from the Great Eastern Oracle. These are gorgeous cards, by the way. Just saying. Your team picked a really, really lovely one, or several. Your first card of this set is Tackle Adversity Head On. A path with no bend is boring. So, in a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. Swami Vivekananda. Kananda. There we go. Vivekananda. Your expression. Imagine taking a stroll in nature when you suddenly find that you are surrounded by difficult and impassable obstacles. If your immediate reaction is that the world is out to get you, this feeling will likely lead you into panic. Your better choice is to deal with the situation as something that could bring about discovery and growth. This is your moment to do something meaningful, to stretch yourself and even act out of pressure to make things right. Reflection. There may be some anxiety in your life because you face some tough challenges that are most unexpected. Whatever your difficulties, be willing to deal with them, to face them, and above all, to overcome them without a shred of doubt in your mind. Use your inner strength, effective coping skills, and support to handle them. When challenges are faced with confidence, they offer valuable experiences that can bring enormous progress and development. Deal with your challenges in a positive and nourishing way. Turn adversity into a problem to be solved will put you in a different frame of mind. By facing the situation, you can begin building the momentum you require to manage and learn from it successfully. This approach is a catalyst that sparks creativity. It helps you move the present situation and builds strength in your character. Resolving problems increases your skill and self-confidence, so you can readily deal with even greater levels of adversity in the future. How wonderful is that? So one thing that was coming through as I was reading that, this is clearly going to be about your business stuff and about perhaps even rebuilding your website. And I was getting, there's a lot of cup of teas in your future. So when things come up and you're getting really super frustrated and you just, things are not looking great, walk away for a moment. Not completely, but for a moment. Walk away, have a cup of tea, or go for a walk out in nature and have a moment away from the energy of that, and perhaps talk to your team a little bit, and you'll find your solutions will come. Sometimes we have to sleep on it, and then things will work themselves out. Okay? So tackle adversity head on. Your next one. So you're going to feel a little challenged this week. You might cry. You might get so frustrated that you're going to cry, and it's going to feel like the willow tree. Your next card is turn frustration into success. Oh dear. Heroes are conquerors of pain. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest of souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. That is by Halil Gibran. Goodness gracious. One of these days I'm going to get these names right. Expression. Everyone knows that pearls come from oysters. This unique gem is the result of oyster's frustration. When a parasite slips into an oyster's shell, it suffers because it has no way to get rid of it. Out of frustration, it encases the intruder in a thick, smooth coating that hardens layer after layer until it becomes a shiny gemstone of beauty. The oyster is forced to protect itself from suffering, and a precious pearl comes to be. The reflection. Unexpected matters may have caused your reality to fall short of your dreams. Your vision of what you wish is clear, but life does not look the way you want it to. The cause of your frustration is a sign or a reminder that reveals what is to come. This happens because you are longing for the result. Without the frustration of not being where you wish to be, you would lack the momentum to try harder. Past failures and frustrations have set the foundation for a change in your approach that will lead to success. The Oracle wishes you to recognize that your frustration is a temporary blip, or we're on cliff's edge now, interruption. But no, it is not a fixed response that blocks your progress. Trust your process. The same way the oyster accepts its natural limits and draws on its inner responses to create something exceptional. To fulfill your dream, use new ideas and acquire additional skills. Do not give up just because you are frustrated. Have faith in yourself and know that you will find peace of mind when it is the right time. The mantra, I let go of what frustrates me and make changes and adjustments that align me with my inner spiritual growth. Okay, so anything that pops up into your life this week, whether it be to do with your children, your website, yourself, the rearranging of your house, whatever it might be, don't give up. Okay. So let go of what was frustrating you and make the changes and adjustments that align you with your inner spiritual growth. So is this for my highest and best? What's going to create more? asking truth. What will create more when you're doing your website? Have that conversation with the business. What's going to create more for us? And look for what feels lightest. What's going to create the pearls of wisdom over your website? That comes from the frustration of trying to figure it all out. The heroes are the conquerors of pain. Now, here's an interesting thing, because I know that you've done a lot of work around this over this last 12 months or so. So this is interesting. So all the work that you've been doing in this particular area, this is going to give you some guidance as to how to move through these areas of frustration and where you're feeling a little bit limited. We've got the enemy in the dark. Turn to your inner child for help. Since we are unaware of the truth, why spend a lifetime in search of it? Never put down the cup of wine for sober or drunk. We are in the dark. Interesting. I don't think we should be saying that last bit, especially for people who have an alcohol problem. I'm not saying you have an alcohol problem. But anyway, there's more to uncover there. From Omar Khayyam. Expression. In your mind, go back to when you were just a toddler. You would walk in any direction without judging if it was right or wrong. The direction was always right. The direction that was always right was the one guided by your guardian. Now that you have grown, your guardian is the muse that shows your heart which way to go. Feeling that you might have taken a wrong turn somewhere indicates that you have not been paying full attention to your guardian's guidance. Reflection. Along the journey of transformation from childhood to maturity, something must have happened to cause doubt to creep into your mind. You are hesitant to move forward because you are uncertain about knowing the truth that would help you to decide. Doubts are dark forces that have blocked you from exploring new possibilities, ideas, and ways of doing things. Khayyam comes with a message for you. The way to overcome your enemy in the dark is to joyfully surrender to the flow of life. Never put down the wine of love, because love's energy is the power that strengthens your mind and makes you courageous. Do whatever you do with love, and you are on the right path. Let love eliminate your doubts so that you can reach your potential and accomplish things that are well within your abilities. Be bold, follow your heart's desire, and allow unnecessary worry to fall away. Your mantra: I have full confidence in my ability to follow my course of action with determination, faith, and great courage. Stop thinking about what other people will judge it. I have seen websites, for example, that are very well curated and do not have the energy of love and connection behind them, because it's been created by somebody who's not actually overly connected to the information. So it doesn't really make me wish to explore them. And if you're looking at your ideal client, is your ideal client somebody who's more energetically aware? And if that is the case, be aware that every time that you're creating with your website and it's not coming from that place of love and fun and joyfulness, you're going to be injecting into every mouse click the energies of frustration and annoyance. And that's going to turn people away from your website. Websites that I've seen that are created by people who, and there's one coming to mind right now, it was very basic. Like, I think there was maybe 2 pages to it. And it was created by somebody who was just clearly had probably done it themselves. But, oh, wow. It was incredibly alluring. So just have that in your mind as you're creating, to come to it as a fun, creative project. Like, if you were not feeling like you had to stick to a particular formula, what would you and your business create? If you were not having those doubts sitting in the back of your mind from all the business coaches and all the how-tos on Facebook and YouTube and all that of how to create a website, what would you create? What would it look like? How could you have more fun with it? We'll take it back to your house. You said your bedroom's next for reorganizing. If you are not abiding by anybody else's rules, boundaries, or limitations, including your own, what would you create? What would it look like? How could you have more fun with that process? Something to ponder. The enemy in the dark. That's the doubts, the judgments of you. Make peace with it. Have fun with your inner child. If your work is based around the inner child healing stuff that you've been doing, how do you inject that energy into the information? Have fun with it. Interesting. It does say pant. All right, here we go. Breath of the divine. Yay! I can say this person's name. Woohoo! So the breath of the divine, pant the consciousness, the preciousness. Why did I say consciousness? Preciousness of air. The heart is eternity, light, and divinity. It is the center of consciousness and the vehicle through which we are connected with the divine energy. God breathing life into Adam means that the heart was given to him. In yet calm expression, visualize that inside your body is a battlefield where 2 powerful armies are at war with each other. Your rational mind controls the blue army. It aims to eliminate the red army, which is powered by your heart and wants to unify everything. The war between these 2 forces will go on forever unless the breath of the divine steps in to take control of the battlefield. Reflection. You are in limbo because of an important decision you require to make. Your heart wants to take a certain direction, but your rational mind is fighting against it. The breath of the divine is the grace of God in your soul. Let it awaken you to your essence. Let it enhance the quality of your life by unifying your heart and rational mind. If your decision is related to physical wellness or corporal life, follow reason and your analytical mind. But if it is about your feeling and emotion, live by your values. You are embraced by nurturing hearts and loving souls. There is a wellspring of grace within you that you can renew. Don't be concerned with what others might think or say. Allow the divine breath to step in, shake things up, and sort out your situation with greater wisdom. Toss out all the negative thoughts that are holding you back and follow your inner guidance. Allow everything else to be rearranged by the loving hand of life. Trust it, even if it does not seem right to your mind. You will soon feel the presence and embrace a communion that needs no words. Your mantra: I trust and rely on unifying divine energy to guide my heart's desire in all matters beyond the needs of the desires of my physical body. So there we go. As I said, it's going to be an emotional week for you. You're going to find yourself feeling very frustrated at certain times. And as that last card said, you're going to have those moments where your mind is going, but this has to be kind of this way. But your heart is going to be going, yeah, but I really wish to go in this direction. It's like, I wish to have more color here, or I wish to have different words here. I wish to have an image here. Listen to the heart. Okay. Allow your mind to give you just that little bit of structure, because it's required, right? A little teeny tiny bit of structure. But let your creativeness flow. The other thing I was just getting is dance. Put on a song before you sit down at the computer. Put on a song that gets your body moving and dance. Get that feminine, creative energy flowing through your body before you plop yourself down. And that will help that flow from your heart up to your brain. It'll help your brain to sort of calm its farm a little bit. Because I get the feeling, what I'm seeing is like you'll be in the kitchen in the morning or whenever it is, before you sit down to the computer, you've got your tea or your coffee or whatever it is, your hot morning beverage, and you're already thinking about what has to be done. You're nutting it out. You're in your analytical mind already. And what this is all telling you is that the more analytical that you go, the harder it's going to be for you to tap into these emotions that are all bubbling up, that even the fun stuff like joyousness and exuberance and that wondrousness of the inner child, that's all coming up this week. And these are the energies that are going to ask to come through your website. They're the energies that are come through your body, that are asking to come through into your bedroom space and your home. So it's going to be your challenge this week to not be quite so analytical, to not be in that was at the left-hand side of your left brain. Dance, move. Let that fun side of you out, right? That's where this comes from. That was me letting the fun side of me out, because I wasn't feeling very fun. So you're going to have an interesting week. It's going to be a good week. I do get the sense by the end of the week you're going to feel quite peaceful. There's going to be a bit of like a woo, wobbly in the middle. Soften. Soften. Be gentle with yourself. Try not to judge yourself this week, because the judgment, the doubt, all that sort of stuff is not helping you. Okay. It's creating wonks in your business. It's creating wonks in your financial flows. It's creating wonks in the energy of your home and your business, of your bedroom. Okay. Let go of the judgments. Cancel, clear, delete, whatever of version of that you use. Thank you, Tamara, for your beautiful donation. I'm so grateful for you and your continued support. And I wish you a peaceful, fun, easy week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that helps. We have Paul has stepped into the chat. Paul, I was chatting about you with my beautiful friend Terry today, and we are so excited to see where you are up to today. And we hope that you'd step in and say hi today. So you said, hi, we're on the Evolution Trail. Fantastic. Me and Lillian, loving Mother Earth. Talk soon. We are hiking and I love it. Excellent. I am so, so happy for you. And how excellent to be on the Evolution Trail. Oh, Tamara. Oh. Sometimes it does help to have a little bit of a heads up, doesn't it? And to have a heads up that things are might be a little bit rough coming in. But the thing that I love about working with your team is that they always give you tools along with the heads up, like, hey, and also this is how we can help you, or this is how you can help yourself. And your team does that beautifully every single reading. And I love that about your team. So yeah. You've seen 4 bears and 5 snakes. Holy moly, what kind of snakes? And what kind of bears? What kind of bears do they have out there? That's amazing, Paul. So far. Paul, did you know that I have a python? I have a pet python. And I love her. And she's gorgeous. And she's amazing. She's little. She's a pygmy. She's a Stimson pygmy python. It's an Australian python because we don't get stuff like ball pythons or anything like that because they're American. We can't import them or anything. But yeah, she's no more than 1.2 meters long, sorry. Wide, can you imagine? And she's only the thickness of about a man's thumb. So my lady's thumb, she's maybe about that thick, maybe. Yeah, she's amazing. She's just very cute. And she's got this beautiful head stamp. So the patterns that are on their head are called a head stamp. And she has a pattern that is looks like 3 petals. And so that's where she gets her name, Triptych. And triptych is what you call 3 art panels. So if you have 3 canvases that all kind of join together to create one piece of art, that's called a triptych. And with the 3 petals on her head, I was just like, that's your name. And so I call her Trippy for short because people get a bit, funny. Like it's hard for people to think about the name Triptych. So yeah, her name's Trippy for short. That's her nickname, but she's Triptych. It's her proper name. Yeah. She's awesome. She's currently in brumation, which means she's not eating, and because it's winter here. And so she is doing really well with that. She's out and about a lot more this year. Last year, she was a lot more hiding away and being quiet. So yeah, we are seeing the beautiful mornings. Oh, yes. That is one of the best things about hiking, isn't it? Is that you do get to see some absolutely gorgeous sunrises and sunsets because you're right there. And I'm curious to know, I found this when I went to Tasmania last month. What have your dreams been like? My dreams while I was out camping, traveling around and staying out in the bush, or in campsites and stuff, my dreams were off the charts. They were so vivid, so vibrant, so like plentiful. I was like, whoa. So when I've come back here home, yeah, I still dream, but not nearly with the amount of like the frequency, the vibrancy of what was happening while I was away. Admittedly, while I was away, there was other energies going on, which I think also contributed to that. But it's the morning we love. Yeah. Morning sunrises are incredible. Yeah. I tend to be more of a sunset girl, but I do love a good sunrise. I prefer my sleep too. Oh dear. Has anybody else noticed that? If you're a camping type person, have you noticed that your dreams can be quite abundant when you're out in nature? I've heard before I actually went to Tasmania, I did hear or saw something about that. And I was like, that'll be interesting. But I didn't expect it to be. It just was. All right, beautiful ones. Today, we are going to do a little bit of poetry work. And for those of you who don't know, this is my poetry book. And it is intuitive. I didn't intend for it to be intuitive. It created itself to be that way. There's a big story to that. I'm not going to go into it today. But anyway, so this is my book. You can buy it. This is a shameless plug. You can get it over on Amazon. It is called Gratitude, the Space Between Seconds. And poetry and prose from the heart. So during this this period of time, we're going to take the little banner off the bottom. We'll come back to that. Ooh, where did you all go? Okay. Weird. Okay. I've just lost all of your comments. I don't know where they went. Oh, that's hilarious. Wow. I don't know where you went. Okay. Oh, phew. We got it back. Ah, phew. Okay. All right. Back on the trail. Bye, Paul. Have a fabulous time. Say hi to Lillian for me. I don't know Lillian, but have fun with Lillian as well. Enjoy nature. Take loads of photos. And yeah, just have a fabulous time. And thank you for thinking of checking in. I feel very honored that you would take time to do that. And the fact that you had reception as well. That's pretty cool. Super cool. Anyway. Hello. All right. Let me just double check that wasn't anything important. Nope. Cool bananas. So what we do with this lovely book is we do a little exercise first called the Expanding Out exercise. And this is something, it's a tool that you can use anywhere, anytime. It helps a lot when you're dealing in situations where you feel maybe a little bit anxious or overwhelmed. It's a tool that can help really a lot with that. It can help you with traffic. It can help you just to feel more centered. It can also help you to, if you're like me and doing this kind of thing with having to tune in with people's spirit teams or your own, tuning into your own awareness, all that sort of stuff. This tool is so good for all of that. Because what it does is it takes your ego and puts it over there somewhere. And it allows your heart, your intuition to really blossom. And what it does is it just creates openness, but also the power and potency for you to have the confidence to know that what information you're receiving is true, without that lovely little ego over there, which has its place, getting involved and putting doubts and stuff into your space. You don't require that. When you follow your heart, when you follow your intuition and your other parts of you that give you information, and, you know, with the little bits of guidance and stuff from your team, support from your team, your spirit team, amazing magical things can happen, and a lot more ease and flow in your life can happen. It even helps with traffic. Honestly, it helps me, like when I'm feeling contracted, when I haven't done this tool, I find people tend to be up my butt. They tend to travel very close to me. They'll cut me off. They'll do weird, strange things. But when I expand out, when I use this tool and I expand out before I leave home or even throughout my journey, suddenly I start getting lots of green lights. People don't cut me off, and I have loads of space around me. How interesting, right? So that's where we're at. So what we're going to do is, I would like for you, if you have a burning question that you would normally say to a reader, can you please answer or pull a card for this? I'd love you to pop that into the chat now. Okay. And we will take those questions and we'll do the expanding out tool, and then we'll find out what number you choose, not me, you, to answer your question, is the words I was trying to find. All right, so I'll just write down my question while you guys do that for you. All right, I've got mine. That took a moment. How cool. While you guys are thinking about that, I'm just going to have a little play over here, because this is kind of like the only time I can do this. I think we'll go with that. Let's have a look and see how this looks. Tall, wide, ooh. Font, ooh, excellent. Ooh, I like it. That's cool. I know it's probably really small for you guys, but at least I can see it now on the screen, and it's like, it's a lot better. Let's have a look at the regular. Regular's good, but crafting possibilities down at the bottom is a little bit in the way. That's cool. This is a feature that they've brought in. They've been playing around with it for about 12 months or so. But yeah, they've got a few different options there now. That's awesome. I can see it and it's a good size. Awesome. All right. Well, I might just leave that there then. Because that's fun. All right. So that you guys can also see the other people floating around. You also get to see both the YouTube and the Facebook comments. So that's cool. Awesome. All right. Let's see who's going to be brave enough to play. Looks like Melinda's brave enough to play. I'm brave enough to play. Are you? Are you brave enough to play? Or are you just lurking, stalking? All right. Let's do our expanding out tool. So relax your body. Close your eyes. Ugh. Shake your arms out a little bit. Take a big deep breath in. All the way down to the bottom of your belly. Breathing out. Take another big deep breath in. Bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. As you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. As you tune into your body, connecting with the parts and pieces that make up you in this embodied form in this lifetime. Become aware of your hands and your legs and your arms. Become aware of your shoulders and your back. You might also become aware of some tension in your muscles. Maybe some tension in your feet. How often do you take notice of your feet? Become aware of your head, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your chin. Beautiful. And now expanding out your awareness all around your body in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness. All the way out, beyond the space that you're in right now. Out beyond the space where your body is sitting, beyond the size of the country that you're on, beyond the size of the planet. And it's really normal to yawn at that point, because what's happening is your awareness of everybody else who's listening to this right now and into the future, because time is irrelevant. And it's your awareness of everybody who is listening to this and doing this process and the expansion and the expanding energies that you're aware of. That's why you yawn when multiples of people do the same thing at the same time. And because we're all doing this around the world, when we get to that space of the planet, bigger than the planet, it's like, hi, friends. And it's a beautiful thing. So expanding out your awareness now beyond the size of the solar system as we all journey together now. Expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes, and out a little bit further than that, maybe out beyond wherever you've been before. Beautiful. And keeping your awareness nice and expanded out, focus on your body once more. Grab your sense of allowance, and it's okay if you're feeling a little bit of tension in your body. It's okay. It's all going to be mitigated in just a moment. It's easing off. So expanding out your allowance now, your sense of allowance, remembering that this is taking you from being that tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and turns you into like basically the big fluffy cloud. And that big fluffy cloud can see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions for exactly what it is. It's just energy. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And you have the ultimate choice as to whether you play with that raging river or not. Whether you just float on by and do your own thing that makes your heart happy. So expanding out your sense of allowance, because that sounds pretty good to me. Let's expand out beyond the body, beyond the space that you're in right now, beyond the country that you're on, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the planet, expanding out your allowance beyond the solar system, beyond the galaxies, and then beyond the universes, and beyond your awareness. Take a big, deep breath in now. And as you breathe out, just notice how your body starts to relax. If you've had tension in your forehead, that will start to ease off now. And if it hasn't eased, expand out your allowance just a little bit further. And the body will relax. Now, with your question in mind, what number between and including 1 and 88 will give you the best or create the most in answer to your question? There we go. So what number, so truth, what number between and including 1 and 88 will create the greatest insight for you for an answer to your question? What was your son's question, Marit? Or is this just a general? Okay. Good to know. Okay. So, Melinda. $56 for you. Isn't that fun? You guys can see the thingy over there. And this here. Wow. I'm glad I took the time to do that. I'll have to move my little craftingpossibilities.com. But that's cool. I can do that. All right. 56, I think you said. Yes. Will I meet the gentleman in my healing session with you the other day soon, please? Ooh. Aww. You are the love of my life and my rock. You are the one who makes me laugh even when I am crying. You are the one that I trust when everyone else is against me. You are my heart. You are my companion. You are my soul. And I love you. Oh, he's definitely coming. Hang on a second. Let me just do a little. Show me yes. Show me no. Okay. So, truth, will this gentleman that Melinda is very aware of show up in the next, I'll be generous, 6 months? It's a very gentle yes within the next 6 months. Should we see if we can go a bit closer than that? So, truth, will he show up in the next 3 months? No, it was very quick. Truth, will he show up in the next 5 months? It's currently saying no, but I get a sense that it was like no. So 6 months by the year's end, given that we are, coming up to the 6th month. So that's exciting. Hang on. There's one other question I had to ask. Truth. Will Melinda meet this gentleman at work? Truth. Will he be a customer? Yes. Oh dear. All right. So 6 months time, there's going to be a lovely gentleman that's going to come into your work. You will recognize him. Oh goodness. When we move to the biggest store in November. Ooh. Just one moment. Let me consult. Truth, will he be a customer in the new bigger store? Yes. There you go. Yay! That's very cool. All right, so a general reading. Thank you so much, Melinda, for playing. I enjoyed that. You know, I don't normally like love readings, but there we go. That was a bit of fun. You're very familiar now with that energy. That was a very strong energy. So I would say enjoy, do the work that you require to do between now and then. Because I also get a sense that the stuff that you and I have been talking about privately over this last week or so, that is like really resonated for you too, tackle that shit. Okay? And you'll be right. Woohoo! Had a feeling that might be the case. Mwah. Mwah. Love you too. All right. Okay. Let's go this way. Number 5. Interesting. It says, I'm trapped. That's the name of the poem. Trapped in a place, trapped in a body, a place I'm not sure why, a body, was it a mistake? So many worries, so many things to come, a need so great, a want which isn't possible. To wish for things, to actually get them, impossible. To love someone, to have them love you, being able to overcome fear, being able to like yourself, a thing which you want to achieve, a person who gives you strength, possible. I'm going to read the little blurb underneath. My first year away from home and in Wellington and having some personal growth time, aka terribly homesick and lost and confused. So in relation to your son, he's in a great time of transition right now. And in that space of going, where do I fit in the world? Where do I fit within myself? Where do I fit within my peers? Where do I fit within the family structure? Where do I fit? It's a lot of that right now. And with that comes a questioning of everything. And what this poem is reminding him is, please remember that there are so many good things that are possible and not everything is to be afraid of. Like, don't be afraid of everything. There are a lot of really wonderful, magical, amazing things that are possible with a change in mindset. And I know it's hard, especially with hormones and growth and bodies and, you know, all the things. And the brain still changing and all of that. And then you add the spiritual on top of all of that. It's like, it's intense. It's an intense time. So take some time to breathe, to do the simple things, to connect in, doing that tool, the expanding out tool. And that will really, really help in moving forward with all the stuff of the world. Okay. And as you slowly, gently find your way and your peace, your place and your peace, and learn to trust yourself, because that's probably one of the biggest things that we all have to learn, is in this wacky society that we all live in, is to trust yourself and to experiment with that so that you're not disconnecting. Because the more that you trust yourself, the more connected you'll be, and the easier and more confident you'll be in approaching the next stages of your life. Okay? And that's true for if you are 5, 15, 25, 45, 65 and beyond. Coming back to that place of trust with self is one of the most pivotal moments in finding the place of peace within. Okay. Thank you so much to your son for playing, and hopefully he got something out of that. Thank you for sharing this with him. Alrighty. Okay, my loves. Cool. Interesting. Is there anything else to share today? All right. I'm getting that there is. Where is it coming from? Cool. Is this the one that has the thing in here? What's in it? No, that's not the one that I'm looking for. Right here. Okie dokie. So this is going to be like our oh gosh, doing this again. Let's drop that out. Okay, this is going to be for our meditation. We're going to be inspired by the amazing Ina Segal. It feels not quite right not having Ina come out at least once. I was like, Okay, collective meditation. Thank you. Yes. This is one I'm very happy to read today. And I think we all require it. We've got a full moon this Sunday. All right. And I think this is something that Melinda will enjoy. All right. So we've got take positive action. Stop procrastinating and delaying what requires to be done. And this isn't just for Melinda. This is for everybody. Everybody. All right. Including me. There's some things that I've been talking about today, that little projects that I've had on the go, like 3 different things. 2 of them are kind of related, but 3 different things that all require this card. If you take steps forward now, you will create potent momentum where many new possibilities you haven't yet considered will show up. If you hold back, you will open the doors to old, fearful habits, which will make you doubt what you are doing. Your will is the most underdeveloped aspect of you and requires conscious effort from you in order to progress. This action may require you to study something that you have tried to avoid or have been holding off on completing. You may need to pay attention to your emotional, mental, or physical health to make time to see and make time to see an appropriate practitioner or commit to a powerful detox protocol. You may have been putting off doing paperwork, taking responsibility for your finances, or making important changes in your business, which is costing you time and money. Your action could be to help someone who is in need, whether it is a homeless person or someone who is unwell, or someone who is lonely and needs company. The most important thing is to stop putting things off, things that require urgent attention, and engage your will. So, cool. We are going to be inspired by that card to take positive action, and we are going to do our meditation around that. Okay, so if your reading or moment today has led you, like for example tomorrow, your emotional stuff that's going to be coming up this week, all of that sort of thing can hold you back from moving forward, right? So let us meditate together and get some of that energy moving. Be inspired by Ina Segal to keep moving forward, and just have an incredible week using these beautiful powers of the big moon and all of that. So we will go up to Theta to do this because it's a very potent place, and it is helping you to basically put your ego over there somewhere. Pick it up later if you choose to. But the Theta plane is the 7th plane of existence, where incredible healing is possible. And instantaneous is impossible if you choose to let it come through. Okay. And it's also the plane of direct contact with Creator, your higher self. It's a place of unconditional love, literal unconditional love, infinite, where this place does not care about the choices you made in the past, nor the choices you'll make in the future. All it cares about is supporting you in this infinite moment with unconditional love. For some people, it's the only place they ever feel that, until they start to develop that and kind of go, oh, actually, I'd like to give that to myself, which you can. It exists within you too. But this is a really lovely way of experiencing it from the outside. Okay, so while the action is to take a pen and paper and courageously write down in what area of your life you require to take urgent, massive action. Okay, so this kind of leads in from the previous question when we did the poetry stuff. So what area of your life do you require to take urgent, massive action? And it can be anything. Okay, pop that into your mind. If you can, write it down. That's cool. You don't have to pop it in the chat. That's okay. You can just leave it there, have it in your mind. Just let that roll through your system for a moment. And now we're going to go up to Theta. So closing your eyes once more. With that area that requires, the area of your life that you require to take urgent, massive action. at the forefront of this journey. Now imagine that there is a bright white opalescent light shining into your heart, going down your body, through your legs, through your feet, down into the center of Mother Earth. Curls around the center of Mother Earth and comes all the way back up, through all the crystalline layers, all the way up, through your legs, through your belly, all the way up through the crown, and creates a big bubble above your head. And now imagine that you're inside that bubble, and now you're floating up higher and higher. Through the golden light, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds. You'll see a big, big opening, and where bright white opalescent light is streaming through. Go through that opening now until you're completely surrounded by that bright white opalescent light. You might feel like you're standing underneath the sun, and the sun's warm, loving rays are shining all over you. Take a big, deep breath in now. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you dissolves. And you're completely surrounded by unconditional love of Creator, of the universe, whatever you prefer, of the one source, of the balance of the masculine, feminine, if you like, Creator and Sophia, whatever you like. It's all one and the same, really. As you breathe in, the unconditional love will move in through your body, through your breath. And as you breathe out, stress, strain, tension will start to leave your body through your breath. And while you're in this space, every single outward breath will be allowing you to drop even more and more of that energy that is no longer serving you without conscious thought. Now place one hand on your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is kind of between the bottom of the rib cage in the middle and your belly button. So if you just kind of put your little finger roughly around your belly button and your hand above that, and spread out your fingers just slightly. Your hand will be on the sacral chakra. Sacral's lower. Oops. Underneath your belly button. My dearest apologies. I was giving you your solar plexus. No, underneath. Underneath your belly button. So your thumb on your belly button. Your hand further down. Once again, still spreading your fingers. And now bring up that area that requires urgent, massive action in your mind. And now imagine in front of you there is a big theatre screen, movie theatre screen. And on this movie theatre screen, you see the area of your life where you require to take urgent, massive action, playing out the history up until now of this lifetime We're not talking about other lifetimes. We're just talking about this lifetime. You might, in this moment, get some information or indications as to why you may be struggling in this area by watching the screen. It's going to be quiet for a few breaths as you tune in. In this moment, you may even get some information that this area of your life is related to another lifetime. And that's good. That's good information to know. You may also get information that it's to do with perhaps some stuff that you've brought along for the ride from your parents, from their points of views or belief systems, or your peers or society. You may see a particular instance which has created a point of view or a belief system in you. That has prevented you from moving forward. All of it is relevant. It doesn't matter if you think it's made up or that you're imagining things. Just trust what you're seeing is real for you in this moment. You may not see pictures, you may just get energy, and that's okay too. And now you're in the present moment. And a bit like a big old whiteboard, I'm going to ask you to flip the movie screen over. Because now you're going to be the movie into the future, from the present right now into this next week or so, or into the next few weeks to a month, or further if you wish. Now with your hand on your sacral chakra, imagine yourself walking towards that screen and stepping into your movie. This place where immediate, urgent change and action has to happen now. And as you step into your movie screen that it is now, see your desired outcome. Feel your desired outcome. How does your body move? And now you might be feeling a little bit of pressure around your sacral chakra. It might feel a little uncomfortable. Your sacral chakra might be having a little bit of a freak out. And this is why we have our hand there, to remind our sacral chakra that it's okay. You are safe. You may also become aware of some energies that are no longer serving you, that have kept you tight, contracted, and unable to see the possibilities. And if that's the case, imagine using your hand to pull out those energies. You can do it in real time. Pull out those energies out into the light. Allow them to be seen and lifted up into the light above. If it helps you to put it into a blue flame or something like that, you're welcome to do it that way too. Move those energies out of your sacral until you're just left with your nice warm belly, feeling excited about the future, excited about this area of your life which has so long been held back and contracted. See yourself moving forward slightly in time, being successful in this area of your life. Seeing yourself, loving yourself, being proud of yourself for achieving your greatest desires in this area of your life. Feeling excited for the next thing that's coming along. And as that future energy pours in through your body, feel your belly, really enjoy that. Enjoy that space, enjoy the success, enjoy the great feeling of just being so proud and quietly smiling to yourself because you know that 6 months ago, or however long it takes, it wasn't possible, and now it is. That at the start of May 2026, you didn't think you could do it, and now you do, because now you've done it. You've proven your heart right. You've gained more trust in yourself. You're more confident now than you've ever been before. And your level of integrity has become fluid, strong, potent. And by fluid, I mean it flows through every cell and molecule of your being. It floats and flows out and around every single part and piece of you and out into the world at large. Your integrity, because your heart, your mind, and your actions are all in alignment now. Procrastination in this particular area of your life is no longer a problem. And in this way, this area of your life inspires you to keep moving forward in other areas of your life too. You see the beauty of your own creations. You see the beauty of your heart. You see the beauty of your mind. And you feel inspired by your own actions. That energy from this movie is going to be imprinting into your system now. Imagine that movie screen is now turned into a big, beautiful blanket, and it wraps around you, reminding you every single day of just how phenomenal your future is and how you can now create that in your present. Because it already is done. If you can see it and experience it as you have just done, it is right there for you. It's not just a possibility, it is your destiny. Like a beautiful cloak, warming you from the inside out, reminding you every single day of just how magnificently wonderful you are. How you are loved by you, by Creator, by Sophia, your team, the collective. You are loved. And in that moment of just really absorbing all that love, I would invite you now to just beam your love out over the entire planet. From this space where you've got infinite, unconditional love all around you, use that, send it through your body, and send it out over the entire universe if you wish. But at the very least over the planet. If you wish to specifically contribute to family members or friends or loved ones, maybe somebody who's struggling a little at the moment, so that they can feel the energy of unconditional love, do that now. It is done. It is done. It is done. We're going to float down now from the theta plane, down through the pink misty clouds, down through the rainbow jelly light clouds, all the way back through to the body, where everything that you have just done will integrate into your body instantaneously. You might even get the warm, tingly feeling of that lovely cloak. The cloak of your future and your present. And now imagine that you're standing underneath a big, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and the water flows over and through your body, washing away any other small little fragments that are ready to go now. Any other little tiny fragments that have been holding you back that you're like, yep, no, now's the time to let that go. Let that energy wash away out of your system. Mother Earth will gladly have that. And now stepping out onto a big warm river rock, you feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet that's been warmed by Father Sky. Take a big deep breath in. And breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Father Sky, breathing in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, please open your eyes. For self-care, please have some water, preferably with a little salt in it. Please know that your body requires salt and water after doing healings like that, because the body uses a lot of salt and water for detoxing energies. I'd love to know how you found that meditation. I really enjoyed that one. That sounds like a great possibility, Marit. I hope for you that that is true. Again, though, I will remind you that other people's free will is still active. Alrighty. That is me for today. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you so, so much. And I look forward to connecting with you again next week. So over the weekend, get out there, do something tasty for yourself. And remembering on Sunday, big full moon, write down your fears and let them float away with the fire of the full moon. So until I see you next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. Bye for now.